There is a witch who lived for over 300 years hunting children. Not in forests, not in fairy tales. She settled inside homes. She waited. She watched for weeks until she understood what each child desired most. And then she rebuilt the entire world around that desire, a perfect version of their life. With the parents they always wanted, the food they loved, the dreams they never had. All of it fabricated with a single purpose: to tear the soul out of the child and keep it for herself, while the body remained there, alive but hollow. She has a name, and that name existed before she even started hunting. The name Beldam first appeared in the 1660s. It meant exactly what you are thinking: an old witch. This is not a coincidence. It is a direct description of what she is. Nobody knows when she emerged. What exists are traces, and those traces begin, at the very least, in the 17th century. The first known victim is a boy. When found, he could no longer remember his own name. The words that still echoed in his fragmented memory were studied one by one. Gouvernante, scullery, peradventure. Terms in common use between 1700 and 1760. This boy was captured over 300 years ago. What remained of him was not a person. It was a shadow. No memory, no identity, no real body. Only a consciousness trapped in a place that does not exist in the world we know. That is what she does. She does not kill, she empties. The Beldam is not human and never was. The human form she presents is a construction. Fingers too long, skin white as paper, hair that moves without wind, and eyes that are not eyes. They are black buttons sewn directly into the flesh. She creates worlds, but she cannot create from nothing. She can only copy and distort what already exists. Before she acts, she studies. She watches for weeks, learns the patterns, the desires, the fears, and then she builds a mirrored version of the child's reality, adjusted to appear better than anything they have ever known. Her final form, the one that surfaces when the illusion collapses entirely, is that of a spider. This is not a metaphor. It is literally what she is. She sews, she wraps, she paralyzes. The only object recorded with any power of resistance is the snake stone. Snakes are the one animal that spiders genuinely fear. Her method is always the same. She needs a door, a physical passage between the real world and the world she inhabits. She does not travel. She does not go after children. She waits for them to come to her. First, she invades dreams. She places images there, shadows singing under the moon, visions of a better place, not frightening ones, seductive ones. She wants the child to want to go. When the child crosses over, she offers everything, and only later, once trust is established, does she make the real offer, sewing buttons over their eyes. That is the ritual. That is the moment the soul is surrendered. The children who accepted were not killed. They were hollowed out. The identity, the memory, the essence of each one became trapped in a dark chamber, slowly forgetting who they had ever been. She keeps those souls. They remain there, fading slowly while she feeds. The Beldam does not eat food. She prepares banquets, fills tables with whatever the child loves most, but she never touches any of it herself. The only nourishment she consumes are insects chewed without ceremony while she converses normally. This is not eccentricity. It is confirmation of what she actually consumes: souls. What keeps her existing across centuries. Without souls, the world she created begins to collapse. Theaters go empty. Gardens rot. The creatures she manufactured lose their shape. She weakens. It is not cruelty. It is survival. There is a theory about the Beldam that changes everything. She may be nothing more than a hand. It sounds absurd, but consider, she has the ability to create entire bodies from nothing, to manufacture people, to build creatures that pretend to be human. Why would she herself be any different? At the moment she loses control, the only piece of her that persists with its own will is the hand. The rest disappears. The hand survives. The hand keeps hunting. She swore upon that hand. In a forced agreement, she placed her right hand as the guarantee. It seemed like a vulnerability. It was calculated. Because if she is the hand, wagering the hand is simply freeing herself from the false body. The hand was all that remained, fallen into a well, sealed beneath a stone, disappeared. But wells are eventually opened. The Beldam is not unique. This archetype appears across cultures worldwide, from Slavic folklore to Japanese tradition, from African legends to the oral histories of Native American peoples. What sets her apart is the mechanism. Most use force or curses. She uses desire. She never forces anything. She offers. She invites. She creates the illusion that the choice belongs to the child. The children went there because they wanted to go, because her world seemed better than their own, because she understood what was missing and filled exactly that void. She does not abduct. She seduces. There is a record from 1921 connected to a hotel in Colorado. A woman identified only by the surname Beldam. She appeared young and beautiful until the interaction reached a sufficient level of intimacy. What survivors described has no equivalent in human language. There is no official confirmation of the connection, but the name is not a common one, and the similarities in method are not easy to dismiss. 3 souls were recovered, 3 children freed from dark chambers where they had been trapped for decades or centuries. But there is no confirmed record of how many others were not. Her method works through invisibility. Children disappear, families move away, houses are abandoned. The door between the worlds keeps existing inside the wall, behind a lock, waiting. She is not a monster. Monsters are recognizable. They are ugly, they are loud, they arrive with warning. She arrives as the perfect version of everything you ever wanted, and by the time you realize it, the door has already closed behind you. There are other records connected to the Beldam that have not been covered here. The entities that inhabited her world, what happened to the bodies of the children while their souls remained trapped, those parts are for the next video. If you made it this far, you already know more about her than most of the people who lived in those houses, and that may be enough to keep you safe, or it may not.